There you go. Hello. The word of the hello. Well, I don't know. Um, the word of the week is greetings. Um, the f- the third week of the month is about form, touch, study, cover, silhouette, construct, composition, ecosystem. As the first week, I talk about what's within, and the second week, I talk about what is. Well, no, that's the second week. The first week is about the vibe. The second is about within. The third week is about the construct and cover. Um, Sometimes it's a pattern as an ecosystem because there is a definition that unifies them. So is that affinity that keeps in common as a design, not just the cover, but the construct of a culture, of a pattern, which is equal as an entity. Such, and for that reason is distinguished. The third and the fourth week is about the scenario, which is within the frame of time space. When you study script writing, or you have watched movies or plays, you see the difference in the addition and the transition. So there is also a word of the week to just to involve these two characteristics that are part of the rules of role play, which I will give away fully. This is only an introduction. So I am moving. I'm moving, and I could have filmed this tomorrow where I am going there. Um, well, I'm going to miss this place very much with the two windows and the open sky. And there I also have a beautiful view. I'm just used to see the same view for 4 years. In October would have been 4 years. So it's more of a vibe. I should have filmed this a bit there, which is today. Is today, and it's beautiful to say thank you when one is leaving in order to let go. Um, have not really enjoyed my roommates, as to say it's not my home or my cover, my family, the people I would define with, even though we're all different to some extent. Um, so I have enjoyed so much this studio, which separate me from the madness of watching things that are out of well-being. Um, Compassion sometimes doesn't reach that level as to a sense of service to devote oneself, and it gets frustrating after so many years. living with the same people. They don't want to recycle or keep it clean and beautiful. And these are not Christian behavior. I have lived with all the cultures, and even something about cleanliness, being grateful is something in common to put something in the table, make something beautiful, be part of a community, invest in something which is shared. I have seen through living with, which has been traumatizing at the same time, an adventure is to say we're all humans. I have learned first, so they might never learn through their generations. So the best I can do is say hello and hope that one day they understand this is a Christian continent where they are. So it is hard. In my work, I love to give greetings. Um, I was not interested in being a manager. I wanted to be in contact with the people in the door and welcome them and wishing them a good day and checking they are fine. I will resolve a problem in 3 seconds and find the right sentence when I will go clean their table to know that, and then they will click on it and have a change of attitude because it was pointing towards that direction, which you could tell by the faces and the dynamics in the family or a couple or teenager friends. Teaching the teenager girls to have a good sense of humor and to not be nasty when they're joking with the boys. Oh my God. And the boy would agree because you don't need to be insultive in order to make good jokes. And I would at the same time cheer them out for joking and tell them a little bit of history that um, how we are sharing good humor and trying to be even in the sense of being respectful. And because you don't want to be laughing at, you want to be laughing with. So it warms their heart as well, because that's what they learn here to bully in such a beautiful neighborhood that I have already melancholy to go to have this vision of after Brexit, how good is it going to become? The lack of people being there to introduce them to the European standards of life. Those greetings. Oh, this is the dictionary. Um, See the same pattern in people trying to push others down, and another person trying to say a sentence and the other one accommodating it is, and then making it worse. Why don't you allow that person to finish the sentence? Because everything that is being said, it was correct. You don't need to hide anything to the public because that person is in charge for a long time of its own conversation, and he knows very well. So it gets to be misunderstood when one person is being respectful and the other one, because you share that, oh my God, is alive, is talking. This is a phenomenon. Gratins, how would you act towards something which is superior than you? If you believe in the laws of the lobster, so too much talking. I would like to know, as to give a little bit of direction, if you like to give abundance to others, if you like to salute others in their journey of being an influencer and making mansions into villages, as to say what would be to help with that which will be required for them to make money in the mansion into a village. I have collect around 50 boxes of books. Besides that, I like to see the patterns when I write in each verse of the multiverse. I have neglected because of investing my time here. Um, it is beautiful to listen to Lex Friedman and Jordan Peterson, even though sometimes is very difficult. I just have something that tells me to relax and allow myself to float, because I hate moving like with all these boxes, and um, it's going to be very wise to just have what I need. So I will be traveling, and it's next to the airport. So it's really cool for that. Good. It has the Elizabeth II line as well, and the train. So once I'm there, it will be good. Don't even drive my bicycle as I used to. So as I was putting everything in the box, because I was feeling, wow, here's a multiverse. And then I thought, because the landlord might rent me the house in the, I mean, what is that? That space in the backyard. And I could do a montage there, a setting. Uh, so I was imagining, wow, I just imagine each of these boxes going to somewhere in the world, because you can communicate with other organizations that where people donate books. And when you go to visit every 6 months in that village into a mansion, you can bring books that have been donated. Hopefully we stop cutting trees for books. Yet it is good to have enough for each generation. To be able to express yourself is one of my missions. As my father's cause was for freedom of expression for artists. Why artists? On his generation, because artists are the ones who are bringing and depicting the historical news in a more pleasant manner or dramatic manner through the senses and the seventh art. My approach is the freedom of expression is to protect the wilderness of imagination through the rules of role play and virtual reality. Even though some people are copying my words and making themselves entitled of, for example, the programmers don't know what role play is. And it's not about being a wizard, okay? It is not about anything supernatural or phantasmagorical out of this or finding your darkness. Because there is joy through every character, and all these characters are form of intelligence, which are not your parts. These are as when you are dancing. Each dance has its own moves, so you are dancing that, but doesn't mean that you are that. You are eating that, but doesn't mean you are that. So you can be born as such and die as such, but you would have become a cultured person if you have tasted the flavor of existence itself within all its boundaries. Yeah, it's boundless. Understand the boundaries as well, and all these movements and patterns. I would love to trust that you will get there as well by giving credit and being in charge of making this a better world, of uniting your hands seriously and keep those greetings to meet each other again and again. You will have a mansion, I can assure you, within to 15 years or two. And if you're top of the level of hierarchy, you would have hundreds around the world by investing in your influencers that you had hand to give them the credit as the master. But at the same time, you are a disciple. There is no better relationship. And this is said by my master Osho. Wait. Okay. I have got because I'm writing for the purgatory. If I had to downside the book, so well, I don't know why. Why I love my book so much, or where are the other ones? Okay, in a box. So Osho would talk every morning and every night. Sometimes he would be a few years in silence or 6 months. And the ashram had a high frequency of energy that it was called a Buddha field, created by people who meditate. They work for free. I do believe, because of my experience there in India 3 years, and when he died, I disagree that people work for free because people lose sense of property. To distinguish those values and appreciate when you have been given a credit, when you have been given a trust, when you have been given a power, that you have been educated enough to appreciate and recognize that position you are of responsibility to hold that. That it might not be your money, but you are giving that trust. So you can look at the ultrasonic waves, ultrasensorial. You might call it meta consciousness. You have achieved a level of understanding all the relations within oneself as a human, because we are role players. We have been in already in the shoes. Your might only see one construct, one facade is a role, but that is the role. And it is easier to say that God, talk about heroes that don't exist, talk about mythological characters, heroes that are from science fiction. It is better to talk about Jesus and Moses, people that don't exist because they do not represent a threat to you. You're safe. You are in charge, talking about the Bible, talking about others that don't exist. I have seen also on YouTube how, for example, Dr. Grande, when he talks about people who have already died or are in jail, even some are very famous and well known, not notorious and famous. He would talk about them in a very different way than if they were alive and not judged already by a court system. So it gives you more safety of judgment. Yeah. But if you are present towards something that is as goofy, as grandiose, as female as any character could be. So you only attach to one, but that is the symbol that we need right now to create that owl of whoa, oh my God, oh, whoa. This is not a movie. This is real. All right. This is real. So you have a multiverse of fantasy to talk about whatever you feel like, because there's a lot there. There's a lot of tissue there to talk about. A lot of tissue. Um, and there is the real life world to have a little balance there. So it is meeting the point of achieving the knot you're creating, the knitting sensation that you have achieved, the capacity to hook it. So I do knit. What we do we have greetings. Well, when you invite someone to your house, for example, the place that you are working. In China, it's called the mouth of the dragon, the chi. The entrance of the building and the reception. And the receptionist is as well studied as the owner. because it represents the logo of the company. It represents that it's talking us to the owner, to the boss. The receptionist has a degree many times of university. In Greek mythology is the Hebe, the goddess of the cup, cheering the cup. She's keeping that. So in your house, you show your house, you welcome them, you talk about the elements in your house. My mother taught me how you do. We had a 4-floor house with 2 living rooms and 2 chimneys. I miss the wood that I'm living here because I love to watch the fire burn. It reminds me of my childhood. And you get to explain some details sometimes. My mother would say different occasions to different people, different things, because she wouldn't remark everything in particular, but precisely that because she knew that the person was paying attention to that element. And everyone loved the sofa because the sofa it was square and 4 people could enter there, and it had like a poofy, uh, beautiful, was beautiful. They would read and drink wine and smoke and read the I Ching. So the mouth of the dragon is how we speak, what we do from what we speak. So, and what are we digesting from those words? Yeah, where are we going? What are those nourishments that we are feeding ourselves with? So, my father said, never be with people that have like 4% of their brain working. Try to be with people that have more percentage of dictionary in their diction. So I'm not really a person that is talking all the time. It is easier for me to write. Those words are in the back of my brain. So I have listened to a lot of YouTube because I lost my social status. So I love saying hello to people, but it's not that I will keep them in my heart forever or in my room or in my house because I have to rent rooms. So I have lived also uh, with a lot of friends in New York, in Ibiza. In Venezuela, I was just more about meditating and working for my mother, which was creating events. So on those times, we'll have the parties at home, and that there our friends would meet us. But I have been also very social and dressing, creating characters myself, um, and playing with those images with people, um, especially when I was younger, from my teenager years to when I was in my 20s. So I have so many friends that people go and come, and one also goes and comes, but there are friends who very few that stay with you, and you keep those greetings. I always love to watch the Queen saying hello. So when I was working in McDonald's, I always thought to be as a queen, to give greetings to the people. My mother would say, treat the customers as if they are the king, because they are the ones who maintain this business and they like to be treated with consideration. Treat them as if they are a queen. I have tried to train some people that come from resentful growth. And when I say treat them as if they're king and queen, they go very angry. They don't understand what is to be treated as a king and a queen. So we need these roles as well in certain stories that are fantasy or in real life. And we need to know that we can also be the king or queen of something particular, or a rock star of something in particular. So greetings. I really love giving greetings because my hands hurt from carpal tunnel. They got damaged. So when I ask for a job, it's very hard because as nobody, when you start working, they'll put you to do heavy work. It's hard. It's hard to work for children and then have to leave them, because I like to take care of them all the time until the parent comes, unless the person is as me or better. So sometimes it's like taking care of bringing that reflection towards the other and you are the same at that moment as the listener and the person who's speaking. To a certain degree, that is in commune, that has gathered you together. They will see your construct, your figure, what you represent, and that which has united you to be there. I have been in situations where I have asked myself, why am I here? Like I am different than these people. And I have tried to think there's something we have in common to be here. So that's it. So you want to make a better world and believe that it can multiply faster than the caveman destroying and fighting to be the better one. Because this is not a race of sperm trying to get to an oval. Yeah, this is not it's not about that. There is not a competition of who gets first, because we have 8 billion people in the world. So it's kind of like, doesn't matter because it's black, white, woman, ages. I mean, actually, I believe that the young generation are more outgoing and could be supported as well to learn to be in this path of understanding and learning and studying and learning and exercising and working at the same time. So congrats to you to have the consideration of taking this direction. So I have feel insulted. So normally when you give greetings, you present yourself sometimes. Because I live in Cricklewood with a working class, and people ask me where am I from, I say that's a racist. You don't ask my name first as an individual. And I do it on purpose because I don't want them to feel that anyone is judging them for being Arab or black, because in, in that part of their brain that is to get out, they are they are the same kind of people that will always ask you where are you from before asking your name, hello, or how did you do, or both. Then you can ask, you know, 'cause they already have a prejudgment that you're white, but no, you're Spanish. Spanish people consider themselves Spanish, not white, because we're mixed and we're Spanish. We're from Spanish, and uh, that is not the way to me to say greetings. So there is well, I could talk many hours of Greek to pronounce it better. And hopefully in 2 years I can say that with voice that's uh, more relaxed, because I'm like, ah! Too many things to do. I cannot connect I didn't have time to go to the store and connect these little ones. So I think they work as good as the ones with the cable. Um, it's windy, and the trees after the rain is so fresh and nice. The weather is so beautiful. It's true paradise. I feel really that all the shouts of my father and all the times that he said about how much he would be working for the British Parliament is for his frustration in Venezuela. And he told me to head north because of the weather for our children and grandchildren, but not north in North America, but where is connected to the Pole North, because it might be horrifying for those countries who are going to suffer through tragedies and catastrophes of heat and floods unless we do something about it. The fresh, cool weather also is better for a writer to think. It's better than air conditioning, he would say. The cool, fresh weather, which is also even in summer. So greetings to summertime. I have so many years and decades dancing and enjoying the beach, just enjoying. So, well, greetings. I'm going to recover my body exercising because I have neglected myself in these last 2 years or 3. Well, 4. I admire the people that do exercise on their own. Greetings to you for doing what you're doing. We're not perfect. I've never wanted to say everything that I have studied, but I have studied hypnosis by the age of 13, 14. I have studied hypnosis. Well, I know how to manipulate minds, as to say where your conversation is going. So I don't have schizophrenia, or as to say that I think differently. I've studied for script writing. My father had a school of cinema, and I have studied as well in New York City, being the best one of my class. I got a independent movie, and the credit was stolen from the best parts of the script were mine. Was a shared script. I've made 4 movie scripts, mainly to sell the one of science fiction because it's my favorite verse. Um, I would love to just be immersed as I used to, because I don't like to hear the noise of the world. That's what rollers are. So sometimes it takes courage to do something that you don't want to really. It's an effort. It's out of your comfort zone, maybe. It's not really nice having to listen to the same trash over and over again, and the quality of my life just maybe looking for a picture and listening, looking for music for the soundtrack, for me is better. I'd rather be dancing than watching somebody dance. It's nice to see that everyone is dancing, for example. Then you would give the greetings. You are grateful to that moment of celebration. But just for is it's not nice. I've been a dancer. I've been a go-go dancer. I've danced in podiums 10 minutes and then I jump in the crowd because I don't want people dancing with limited. The other, I want everyone to dance. So I would dance with everyone, and then I would really dance because everyone is dancing. Because if I break through the dance floor, what I say, you break through because there is a moment in dancing where you're taken by the dance, by the music. Is a breakthrough. You're dancing, and people will make circles around me, and I didn't like that. I wanted them to dance. Then I will enjoy it so much more. Which, of course, in Ibiza Pasha, we have undercover dancers as well. Uh, I used to dress with all these shiny things and all that. And everyone as well. Um, Greetings, how are you? What do you do? Well, I have was an assistant of Reiki by the age of 13, also 14, and 13 and 14. I was assistant of Reiki, and I was always told, remember how young you are, because you have been chosen for this. I was the only teenager that wanted to do art therapy or any form of therapies. When I was a child, I loved to listen to the adults talking with my mother. My father was always out as a journalist of politics as well, and trying to help society and report and behind presidencies, any from any party. So it was very beautiful to learn from all these adults. I was a sponge. um, I was blanked. My mind was blanked. I wish my children had that as well. My daughter Debbie, because my mother and I talk, and we never put her to do therapy or meditation. I would just force her sometimes to do Arab dance in this meditation center that my mother had. And she would never listen because she was very spoiled from 3 families. And I was like the enemy when she was a teenager, uh, because I was the only one who was disciplined with her and harsh to have limits and boundaries, to traumatize her and show her look at what people do, the effort that people do as well. They're running, they are pushing forward, they are, but well, she had against me 3 families who love her dearly because she was the first one. And now she's an assistant of therapy and a therapist, and she's very spiritual. So you never know how it comes. It comes. I am very stupid with finance and making decisions for investing. So let's say it's not my field. I would like to learn and be capable of creating a balance that I would say is not just to maintain myself in the moment. I have done organized. I have done many things. I've done huge many things that no one would have been able to do in my early 20s, 21, 22. I've done things that nobody would do. I have made many people wealthy with my logistics and results. I have run away from jobs because people start to have like a fever for money and they start to fight. So I work for them, um, or they take my place because instead of sharing the wealth that, that I have provide by simplifying to how the money would enter. So I know it's very hard for me to pick a job that I would desire here because they pick people that are British because they feel more comfortable around their own British people. And I don't fit to work on many places because I have dyslexia, um, for writing. Or as a receptionist, I don't like to be in the same place for a long time. I was a receptionist in my mother's center of meditation and dance, but I was role playing. So it was my mother's. So I had the freedom of to saying hello to people. I love saying hello to people and introducing them as well. Um, so yeah, I've been assistant of therapy for 14 years. Feng Shui, I love as well. I study not for the superstitious school, but the architecture and science of the movement through the natures, colors, and the reason of the elements being placed in that as a form of the setting of a scenario. And it has its psychology as well in the feng shui and the form and the shapes that we carry. Within therapy, I have studied many fields from the occult of the mystery school. They have taught us to not take things seriously because there is no credit, there is no evidence for that. This for is not real, but you can keep the teaching and the motion as a pattern to have learned. Not that a past life would exist or not exist, but just to take that story as a learning, to not take it seriously as yours, because the only thing that is yours is the now, the present that brought you here. Where you're going is always now. So I think this planet Uranus, or this one, I think it's this one. So here I am in my universe. So I have the influence of planet Uranus in my chart, and I was joking before a lot and being very dramatic as well. I was talking crazy nonsense to bring reason out of it. What they call therapy shock. The German therapists, especially the Germans, they love therapy shock. So you don't push too much, but kind of like there, right? And that's also a breakthrough. Birthing, rebirthing, and the hardcore meditations are to exhort through cathartic, out of rhythm breathing, memories that are hidden there. So you enter into a zone that is not reasonable. And all that oxygen as well helps you to unchain those frustrations that have been suppressed by yourself and the entity of the continuum of your family and class. So you can break through, you can unleash that power, you can unchain it and see its repetitive behavior. No matter how much followers you have of the same kind, you are one of them talking to that class. And then you have the philosophy of life. So I have listened to Osho, read Osho for years and years and years and years and years, sitting in meditation. Without moving, just enjoying the beauty of his voice and the gathering. It gives me a lot of frustration to to know that that has died, because once the master has died, all the magic around it dies too, because people don't have the level of consciousness and enlightenment and to transcend that which is not. hard. It's hard to see, at least to remember that which is exists. Um, be nice that someone talks to me directly and says, "Hello, Patricia. Nice to meet you. Well, yes, I left the world of therapy and meditation because I didn't believe in it anymore. So I went and I studied for script writing, not really to be in movies, but something in internet. I already knew that was going to be the right path. I could make an excellent setting and the lights and all these and have the cameras and editing. I know all of this. I'm just lazy. So I do a live video. That's it. I don't even upload it. very, a very simpleton. Not because I am zen and minimalist and I don't care. Oh, I am. I am also a snob and like to have the best of its kind, to have a nice setting, to travel a little bit, meet others, and report from another sort of vision where we can merge into that level of conquering a new way of thinking and interacting. So programmers could solve this quantum mechanic. There's a calculator that will bring the time, space in this world that is a planet of three-dimensional 3D globe. And in this time, we can see that place has been reported that say, we need to do textiles. My village is tired of wearing blue jeans and t-shirts. We want to do textiles. Yeah. I want to learn that, even if I have to follow these machines for years. And somebody from India says, oh, take the supervisors there, the managers, and let's hire the race of other workers because we will have credit as well to build in another country textiles. Yeah, changes the whole scenario. They have good textiles in Peru as well and Mexico. The texture is better than texting. The texture of life. You can't take that even in a Hollywood film. The reality of a rainbow, the reality of the meaning of the rainbow that is bringing your highest desires to heaven and Olympus, to reach there into the celestial levels that are yet to be discovered. As to put it in a map or in a concept with words, but they are within you every time, everywhere you go. So it is within you or with others who are also portals of imagination and realizations. So never misunderstand what is imagination and what is real. Yes. So some people need to take a certain role so we can quiet and know that this money can roll. I don't even know if by word, because nobody talks me. Nobody pays me, so I am neutral. Yeah. And the day that you start talking about it, that you will want to do this and appreciate a woman that is Spanish and is Patricia. There is a nobody behind the corridors of power or in the kitchen with the ladies. Doesn't matter. But there is a person. There is not you as well. And there is you as well. And there is the other as well. And there are so many as well who need to have that trust and currency. How are you going to talk about detecting who has a sense of property, who has the qualities to organize, manage, to be honest? Of course, you can have a program where they have to write everything they have purchased. Who is honest to not get entitled as to thief, because it's not going to move, cannot move like this. Then the energy is being obstructed into the same conditioning of just talking. So I have studied so much, but I have come here for that sequence role play that I will keep in the private. Never write. It's been writing in a computer. It's never been written on internet. It's never been sent to anyone. And when you start to talk about this agreement, also, where are the tech titans to stop this fight? Where is Bill Gates? What does he say? Or Tim Cook? Or the owner of TikTok? Seriously, because this is not about political campaign. Who votes for you? This is about helping these guys to stop this and bring order, not in a tribunal, ugly court, but coming to the sense of what really is the multiverse and having a sincere connection with your power and the one of the world and others. Oh, because it's mine. I need to go to everyone. Oh, because they need it. That's why they are after it. Oh, because I have followers and they don't have it. I can see all this as well. And it's not truly about that only. I would love to post without the need of having to be posting all the time or having to be listening to all this bullshit and gibberish. I'm like, what have come? This is a denigration of myself. I don't know. I cannot compare myself to something worse because I'm living on a time of my life where anything I say can become real. And I'm not into projecting, but I must be careful of not saying anything negative that might be, because it could be. Because I'm in a time of my life where everything that I think or could be, because of being connected to such powers of making it come true. Immediate is immediate. I don't listen to many people. I just listen to H.G. Tudor because of his voice. I pray that he stops talking about Meghan Markle. I love all his voices. I love the voice of Jordan Peterson. I wish Jordan Peterson doesn't talk so much with other people because I just like him when he talks. Uh, but most of his videos are with other people, and then I try to skip what they say because I know more or less it's not person, it's not gonna be interesting. Silence is better. And you're like, oh my god. Lex Friedman as well. I don't understand why he's not been giving money and credit to travel around the world, to have his car. People just go there and take advantage. And if you want to be the richest man of this world, just save all the money. Never give anything to anyone. And take a lot of amphetamine. Okay, so in purgatory, I wish I could take amphetamine so I could move this house without feeling so obstructed in my mind. So, I think it's good to have amphetamine sometime in your life as a season, but not to be dependent on drugs. You have your natural juices. Sometimes I feel a drop that segregates and it gives me natural morphine. Yet I had taken these pills. I take every 6 months to relax because something is bothering, and I must just smile and just, or my heart is burning because I miss my children because of nothing is moving. I'm talking alone for 2 years. I've become alone just with the universe, but it's not the way. Like, existentialism is not my thing. Philosophy of life is not my thing, really. I'm more down into role play, into seeing action, and then relaxing because I dance for 8 hours. I've been exhausted from life. So I have brought these codeine pills, which has paracetamol and caffeine, but I take 4. So from the purgatory, I'm trying to enter into the terrace. That is the last one. So I still don't feel it because I still feel a lot of greed from people holding it to themselves, trying to pretend to be and have more, and the gluttony of. So as it's being ripped off from the summer, because the beginning of summer, people don't really feel the summer unless you're a child. The holiday from the school, and they're more playful. So the next terrace is for lustful, but at the same time is the entering towards the heavenly earth. Not is the heavenly, because then comes the 7th heavens. So there are many flames that will remind you of your lover past, if it's one or many lovers. Your mother is your first love. I have studied many more things, just don't want to talk about it. Photography, everything that is related to movies. I have discovered, I don't want to, in my greetings, normally I don't like to show off, but I could have so many degrees already. I should be talking all the time about everything that I have studied and everything that I am, but I don't do that. I like to enter confidently and just give you the reason to judge me because you don't know me. And I have done more things. I have taught Tantra for 7 years in New York City. I have went to many people who teach Tantra as a judge, and I have told them what they are doing is incorrect because I felt to have the authority to tell them what you're doing in the Tantra is wrong. Right? We have Tantra as our birthright. So I shouldn't have charged for it, but it was kind of like, well, I have to live from something, yeah. We live in a world that lacks so much power of the senses and the art of giving and receiving at the same time in synchronicity. The Tantra has to be paid until that connection has formed the free state. So it has sexuality, but it's not about sexuality, all right? Only. So some people think it's being a softie, and no. Normally would never talk about it. I guess I will do that when I'm very old. Like, I'm half old. Next year I will be 50 years old, half century, and I will just try to keep straight to have 50 years more at least around it. So let's just open randomly here. We will lead you to her eyes, but the joyous light that is in them, yours will be sharpened by the three over there who see more deeply. Thus, singing they began, and then they led me with them to the breast of the griffon, where Beatrice stood, turned toward us. They said, "Not to spare your eyes, we have placed you before the emeralds, whence Amor formerly drew his bow at you. 1,000 desires hotter than flame drew my eyes to her shining ones, which were still fixed and moving on the griffons." Well, the griffons are the griffin, a mythical creature with the head and wings of an eagle and the body of a lion, typically depicted with pointed ears and with the eagle's legs taking the place of the forelegs. That's my husband, last name Griffiths. I'm like, no, I don't want your last name. Mine is more beautiful. My last name means to please God and humanity. Thank you. So, placentia. Placentia from the Latin pleasure is being castrated through 2,000 years of Christianity. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God, the Holy Spirit. I love all this Christian thing, but the word voluptuous has been vamped away from the cultural form of living. Voluptuous is also a tantric word, which means the power of the senses. voluptuousness would be in the parties and celebrations as the power of the senses. All these hands to squeeze you. Those are senses as well. The strong and the harsh. Well, greetings. Yes, I'm Patricia Placencia. I am Spanish, born in Venezuela, from Spanish, Italian, and Argentinian. Oh, yes, I have studied dance from an early age. After school, I would have two activities, which would be music, dance, swimming, horse riding. I would always be cleaning the horses, no matter how much my mother would put me again and again. I will be cleaning the horses, and I always would whisper to them because I like it to see how tall they were, and that one day they would be free. And I love horse riding, but not as is. Something about it, because they're born like this. It's not fair knowing what freedom is, right? So it is good to learn discipline. On God, you really have to have strong legs to do all the up and down, eh? So is I never got to jump, so that's for sure. Because I would. It's like, I don't know, horse riding. Been a bit of a rebel always, so I have a lot of undercover stories. I have worked as undercover reporting as Patricia Placencia, CIA, to be a secret agent of myself, because government is too busy with other things, and government can be everywhere. My father will report a lot of things and findings. He would love to be as a detective. So I also wish to be as a detective when I was little. A detective, a nun, and an astronaut. That's what I wish to do. I have studied and I have practiced all the dances. Well, I used to open my legs when I did ballet, flamenco belly dance. I made hundreds and thousands of people dance with other dancers as well. And I've been a leader of dynamic meditation. I have taught striptease as well. I don't like to be a leader or a therapist, which I could have been. But there was something that I see that people just would go there and they would keep with their boring life because that would be exciting. So role play makes you change. And through change, you can find rejoice and discovery within yourself without having to analyze with the mind, through the sheer greetings of finding another. So slowing down in that moment, yeah, because everyone now with artificial intelligence is going very fast to get more points, to get more followers, to post more. So the anxiety that, yeah, like in New York City, if you said, "Oh, I'm relaxing," I would say, as if it's an insult. "What, are you tired?" That's an insult in New York City, because if you're not in the rush of the city, it's like you're not. really there. So this chip in the mind needs to gradually put its setting to, okay, I am this, we're managing money in this way, we can conquer more money if we unite each other for a map in the world, at least so people can get their credits and think big. Oh yes, I have the metaverse. No, you don't have the metaverse. That was my idea, not Bill Gates or Microsoft. I've been within role play for 18 years. These 2 years I haven't role play, but just monologues, because I'm trying to share this and get paid. My personal reasons. So you move your planet. Oh, splendor of eternal living light, who has become so pale beneath the shadow of Parnassus, or has drunk so deeply from its well that he will not seem to have a laboring mind, attempting to portray you as you appear there, where harmonizing the sky is your only veil, when you disclose yourself in the open air. Notes 1/63. O you who shot in vain. Almost half the canto is devoted to the continuation of Beatrice's reproaches. His confession and explanation followed by further lecture from her. So it's very interesting because I'm putting my main character, which is Styx. You will know that. People will know that in the future. So you define your reality here from now on and get down to matter. Styx, and we should never talk about our characters, our main characters. Styx in the next chapter is going to confess, because I never put this character. She's always depicting the scenarios because she's the river that flows through all these heavens and hells, and then she creates new hells. For some reason, I've never created through this character new heavens, which I should write. I guess the new moons that have been found around Uranus, that would be cool. Planet Uranus, because they are names of British characters, some Shakespearean, as Ophelia, another character of mine that I love. Styx is going to confess her burning flames as she's through this and passing through this gate. In hell is passage, gates through the portals of heaven. And for me as a person as well, let's just say the writer and role play, you're not a video gamer, you're a role player. You're your director, script writer, and actor, your characters with others as well. When you acquire a higher status, because for example, I have organized the Kingdom of France, which was the Kingdom of Heaven, for 5 years. I manage with many kingdoms within, and with alliance of not being queen or king. Never. you acquire a higher level because you're supporting others to maintain these realms or kingdoms or groups. Because in the comic verse, there are no groups, even though new players will always hate the new players because they have more power of role play. They've been there for longer. They know by experience in the main what it is. So they try to break the structure of what is being created, and then they find out that's actually how it works. That's why it works, and that's why it doesn't work. It has to be real. You cannot be postponing and talking what are you going to do. In role play, you simply act. You can think yourself. Is everything in the now of creation. And our minds are in a different time zone and space. I wish you to find the peacefulness that can bring you that comfort that you have arrived there, that you know you have arrived home. You don't need to rush anymore with a rocket behind you. You have arrived there. And that is the tantric as well of eternal orgasm. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. No. No. You are that, which never ends. So yeah, it might sound very like, oh yeah, it sounds great. It sounds very true. Yes, where are you? Would love to stop eating myself and be able to eat others that they are sharing this juice. I just really love four people. That is H.G. Tudor. I love when Elon Musk talks, but I wish to hear him talk without questions, being questioned. Um, Also, I love Jordan Peterson very much when he talks alone. He's majestic. He's reduced when even his meaning is being distorted by another person whom secretly has shared something that is not relevant. And I really love Friedman, Lex Friedman. I want to eat this. Um, he, I remember when he started, he was very cocky and show off. This way, I have so many followers, and then he has humbled it up, but never showed that. I don't know why. What changed him? What happened? But I guess you need that to get to a certain level, and then maybe that's what relaxed him. And he didn't need to prove more, or because he achieved a higher level of recognition by being with figures of excellence. So I was listening to Michaela Peterson, and she always talks about the same thing and is being asked about the same thing, and um, personally get bored listening to her, but I love to see her. There is something she has, but it's not really there yet. Um, I love when she says that she's not agreeable. I love how beautiful she makes herself. Um, I don't know what's wrong with her lips that are like, I don't know if she's just um, wanting to be perfect, but something the maybe needs more flexibility within her to, and maybe I don't maybe with time and aging, or it's not a critic because she's perfect as she is, and her lips are. I just don't know that angle that comes down like that. Um, and like I draw as well from little. They thought I was a genius because I could draw it as it was, but I think maybe it's because she's gone through this pain in her past and her body that she needs that flexibility to flow and get maybe go to dance. I think you need to find the right teacher. I don't like teachers of dance, and I have very good teachers of dance, but then I don't like many because maybe I like the ones that I had, that I would never replace them. So um, it takes time to find a good master of dance. I would recommend that, is to flow or break through with the body and the voice and the aura of allowing yourself to go to where you want as a woman talking about femininity, but maybe you don't know what it is and you are in search. But you know well what you don't like, and it is good that you don't say it. She's a very smart girl, of course, daughter of her father. Um, I tried to look for women. Um, I have Amanda that I like, but she reads terrible. But I like to listen to her opinions on politics, on characters, historical characters as well, because I don't believe they talk to her as a medium, because she shows the cards and hides them and then changes the story because she believes that what she's going to say is what is going to be. Many people believe that because they are in a process of learning through manipulation in order to detect what is what, right? But then when you already have known that what is what, you are in another sort of nature. Mm. there is when you're ready to give, you're mature, your energy is straightforward. So I hope you have joy by giving greetings, by talking about, in the Bible, they talk about paying our debts. In the purgatory, we pay consciously our debts willingly. We're giving a credit as well to pay these debts willingly. In the purgatory, we work willingly. Yet, I believe there is no free choice. We have an ongoing story where we put ourselves to even before entering in a stage. And some might remember, have that memory. So yeah, I think 𝙚𝙤𝙤 is the only person as a woman that I like to, but I don't get to really listen to all her videos, but I like to check on her. I would love to see more women as well, and just to being comfortable in their skin. I don't know if women have to be with women or how, and what sort of way. I know men love to be supported by women, but always think there are 8 billion people in this world and there is room enough for everyone to find their way and form, that at least they can pick one village. Because there are many managers from McDonald's, for example, that can also have that credit to build a mansion into a village. As with certain companies, that is agreeable by those who are above me and those who are aside, because I am also an influencer. I don't have followers, I have only you. So I would have 5 or 6 with 𝙚𝙤𝙤. I would say 5 because I don't think HG Tudor would do one mansion into a village. I don't know. I cannot ask people to, because I don't think that, I don't know if people would like to reveal who they are, at least with a group of friends, and trust them closely, that you are not going to be as other generations, because that is obsolete now. That you can have your trust circle of friends and teach them as a master as well. That you can be as gracious as a tyrant. So I wanted to say about Styx, because we have played many characters, but sometimes you have a role in life and that's who you are. That's your role in life, right? You should always play a tyrant. And normally your main character is an omnipotent character of immortality, or emperor is your main character normally, because that's what you are going to speak for yourself from above everything that's happening. You don't use many characters. You don't use many characters to fight others. You only use your main voice, your highest voice, that will command through all your whatever you have. It doesn't matter if it's mortal or immortal, because immortal characters are nothing without the mortal characters, which are sometimes more powerful because they are the ones who manage the material, because immortal are kind of like spiritual or like in a another matter of being, which could be seen as more powerful. It is just another form of science that can go through, but it's not in the group of it. It's the ones who are in the living. So I wanted to say this because once again, that's your highest consciousness. What is funny to say is that once again, the tyrants are the ones who have more intelligence and power normally. Or they can harm you. What I learned from Stephen King is that he always thinks about fear. What would make people afraid? I love Stephen King so much. I mean, I would love to hear him talk. I think he has the best tweets sometimes, even though I don't agree with politics. And he's like, woo! Stephen King has tweets. I don't care what he says. Love Stephen King as a writer. I love to write horror and feel omnipotent. One of the greatest feelings that I welcome everyone to play as well and choose your main role. So fear, one of the greatest source of fear that I have found is being possessed by someone that has more power, more intelligence, and connections, and wealth. The opposite side of fear, which is in the other side of the coin, but represents the three-dimensional entity of fear, is excitement. So, there you go. Excitement, fear, which is funny because fear is the opposite of love. It's not hatefulness or rage, which is more down with love, because you love that, because you hate that, and you love that. So fear is you cannot do anything if you're paralyzed. So you're taken by that. And we are sometimes governed by a happening that is beyond us and is calling us for that metamorphosis and change that is in behalf something that is beyond you. So it's not that you're going to serve that person, because that person's going to die, and he just, he cleans his booty as you do and eats like you do and has two legs, two arms, and can take the piece out of life as you do and criticize others as you do, but he has something that you cannot do. So that is real. Some values, to a greater extent, can be numbered. That's real. That is real. We need more leaders, and to appreciate a leadership, give greetings to the other one's mastery. Leader has the of a master as well. So appreciate that in the other one. When I was watching, I think it was yesterday, what's this girl? Grinch. well, she had a baby with Elon Musk, and she was DJing. Um, she was like uh, sharing her joy for others to dance and showing her ultimate freedom of movement through the sound and body. And I love the way she was dressed, very plain, but at the same time with hair flowing and cool to be in her absolute power because she's had a baby, I guess, with Elon Musk. She would never be doing like that, just alone by herself for no reason to make other people dance. But I know that she will love others to find that on their own instead of being, I say, with the camera, just filming and just like, yeah, like a poor catharsis there instead of going to higher levels, just dancing, going wild. Yeah, see her, but also multiply that energy with everyone. So, um, and get with other one and get lost with the other ones dancing, and it's so transforming to allow your body sweat and transcend like the tribes in Africa and Venezuela would dance just until you drop. It's so healthy as well with just water. You don't need much. So well, that is also a mastering in a way. There's more there to learn. It should be illegal that people are filming when they go to a concert because people need to be there to their fullest. So maybe a little bit like, one is watching there, but and then hide it because you're dancing. So, well, greetings to everyone within the master within you, the master within me says goodbye. I'm exhausted mentally. I don't think the codeine pills are enough. So, just putting everything packed and hoping is going to be a good movement. I love to see my books in display. I would love to be role playing. I would love to not be talking about this. In December, I will stop talking about the word of the week. Will be fulminating to 2 years. So, bye. And talk about that which you believe is having that trust and giving that trust. So, the cookies are solved, and then is the cake. If you've been there before, you know what I mean. If you haven't been there, let the other tell you. Bye. It's not a pie, it's a cake.